So let's talk about this required practical to do with potable water. So let's say that I gave you a cup of seawater. Would you drink it? Well, hopefully the answer would be no, because seawater is not potable. Oops, not potable. Why is it not potable? Well, it's the high levels of dissolved sodium chloride. So we are talking about basically your common salt that you put in your chips. And if you tried to drink seawater, at least if you drank too much of it, it would damage your kidneys and then you would die. So if I gave you a glass of seawater, you would want to try and make it potable. But how would you do that? What technique would you employ? Well, believe it or not, it's one that you have already seen. It is distillation. So what you do is you take your seawater, your sodium chloride solution, and you put it in something like a round bottomed flask, like so. And then what you do is you start heating it, and you heat it to its boiling point, and then water vapor will start to move up the apparatus. And the clever thing is that the salt, the sodium chloride, will stay behind, you see. And what will happen then is that your water vapor will travel up here past the thermometer. So this here is a thermometer, hopefully registering at 100 degrees C, that being the boiling point of water, and into this piece of apparatus here, which is the condenser. Just here. And if you remember from previous videos, it's something for cooling down vapors. So what you do is you feed cold water in, and then it comes out, and what it is like a jacket around that thin pipe. So your steam, I think I'm going to switch to a darker colour here, your steam starts travelling down the pipe, the condenser cools it down by continually flushing cold water around the tube, and then what you get out of the other end is you get lovely pure water. And as pure water has nothing else dissolved in it, pure water is very potable. Now let's say that you were of a suspicious bent and you didn't really believe that it was potable. How could you prove it? Well, there are a number of tests you can run on this pure water. Okay, so we'll start off with talking about pH. So ideally the pH of your water should be somewhere between 6.5 and 8.5. See, pure water has a pH of 7. So if you've gone below 6.5 or above 8.5, then you don't have pure water. You can test for the pH of it, your water sample, by using a universal indicator as pictured. So if it is indeed pure water, it should be turning this colour here. It should be turning a lovely green colour. If it's not, then it's not pure water. It's got something else in there. Or you might even go for something like an electric pH probe. They tend to be a bit more precise. You can pop it in there and press on, and it will tell you the pH of your water sample. So assuming then that your water is indeed pH 7, we still have some other things to worry about, because remember I said it's got all this sodium chloride in it. And before you start drinking this pure water, you want to be convinced that it's not got any sodium chloride in. Well, for this you're going to have to remember that sodium and chlorine will form two ions in solution. Sodium forms Na+, and chloride forms Cl-. And that will be important in just a moment, because you need to test to see if your chloride ions have gone. Now, how do you test for chloride ions? Well, you use the old test that we did back in our testing substances required practical. It's the one where you use silver nitrate. So if you remember the procedure for that, first of all you add an acid to the sample, and that's really just to remove any unwanted ions. For example, if you've got some carbonate ions hanging around, they will stuff up this this test. So you want to remove them with an acid first of all. And then you add silver nitrate solution. So what goes on chemically here? Well, you've got your silver nitrate, AgNO3, and then you're going to add it to your solution of sodium chloride. So what colour shall I have? Sodium. Sodium can be a nice yellow colour. There we go, sodium chloride. And what essentially happens is you form a salt, you form sodium nitrate, which isn't especially interesting, because the really interesting bit is the AgCl. Because if you remember all the way back to our previous video, this here is a precipitate. It will form a solid and the solution will start going cloudy. Now, can you remember which of those 3 test tubes it is? What colour chloride ions will turn silver nitrate? I'm sure that you have. It's this one here. It will form a white precipitate. So if you've got your pure water sample and you add your silver nitrate to it and it turns white, that means you've got some chloride ions hanging around. And if you want to see this sort of in terms of the ions, what's going on with the ions, you've got your Ag, that's the important one just there, and then what you've got is your C plus your Cl, your Cl minus, because these, remember, are the ones that we are interested in, and then they form AgCl. The NAs and these guys, the nitrate groups, they don't change their charge at all, so they are, if you remember, spectator ions. They're not really up to very much in this. Cool, right, so let's assume that we have done this test for chloride ions and you have proven conclusively that there are no chloride ions in your potable water. The last thing that you're going to want to do is a flame test. Why do you do a flame test? Because you are looking for sodium. Do you still have sodium ions hanging around? So you do your flame test, and if it turns yellow like this, because remember, yellow is the colour of sodium, if it turns yellow, then sodium is present. And if it doesn't turn yellow, then sodium is not present. So assuming then you've got your water sample and put it on a wire loop or a splint or something into a flame and it's not gone yellow, then you can say that there is no sodium present. And if you've proved that the pH is fine and that there's no chloride ions and no sodium ions hanging around, then you have yourself some potable water and you can have a nice drink. Thank you very much.